My name's Hailey, I'm 29, and until last month, I thought I knew what friendship really meant. I trusted my best friend Lena with everything, my secrets, my fears, even the things I never told my fiancé. She was my person, the one who knew me better than anyone else. But all it took was a single screenshot, one private conversation, for that friendship to shatter into something cold, cruel, and public. It started with a message I didn't even know she'd leaked. One morning, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Texts, DMs, tags, all filled with laughing emojis and screenshots of my words. My own words. The ones I thought were safe between us. I remember scrolling through the comments, feeling my heart drop with every word. Can't believe she said that. Fake friend. Wow. What a snake. And there it was, the chat I had with Lena a few weeks earlier. Only it was cropped, twisted, edited to make me look jealous and insecure. She'd posted it on her story, calling it a lesson in fake friendship. The irony almost made me laugh, but I couldn't. My hands were shaking too hard. People believed her. Of course they did. She got to the story first. She painted herself as the victim and me as the jealous, bitter one. I watched years of trust crumble in a few hours. But what she didn't know was that I had everything. Every message, every confession, every petty comment she'd made about others. She wanted to make me look like the villain, but she forgot villains always keep receipts. I didn't post right away. I waited. I let her enjoy her attention, her sympathy, her fake tears. And then when the timing was perfect, I uploaded the truth. The internet loves drama, but it loves justice more. I grew up in a family where loyalty was everything, or at least that's what my mom always said. My parents divorced when I was 13, and after that, I clung to friendships like they were family. Maybe that's why I let people like Lena so close. She wasn't just a friend. She was home when I didn't have one. We met in college, both studying communications, both trying too hard to seem put together. She was loud, confident, and effortlessly charming, the kind of woman who could walk into a room and own it without saying a word. I was quieter, more cautious, but she liked that about me. "You're the calm to my chaos," she'd always say. It sounded sweet then. I didn't realize it was her way of saying I'd never outshine her. My mom loved Lena. My brother didn't. He used to tell me, "Hailey, she talks about you like she's in competition." I brushed it off. I thought he was just being protective, maybe even jealous of our closeness. But in hindsight, he was right. Lena's compliments always had edges. "You look so pretty in that dress. I wish I could pull off simple the way you do." Back then, I didn't notice the undertone. Even my fiancé, Ethan, had doubts. He said once, "She doesn't like when you're happy." I laughed it off. Because who wants to believe their best friend resents their joy? Family dinners turned into therapy sessions after the screenshots went viral. My mom couldn't understand how someone I loved so deeply could turn on me like that. My brother just shook his head, muttering, "Told you." Ethan tried to hold me together, but even he couldn't stop the wave of humiliation that followed. The funny part is, everyone thought the betrayal was online. They didn't realize the real betrayal started long before that post ever went up. It started small, so small that I almost didn't notice. Lena began making little jokes about me in front of others. "Hailey's the responsible one," she'd say with that knowing laugh. She'd rather plan her wedding budget than have a glass of wine. Everyone laughed, including me. It felt harmless, just typical best friend banter. But the tone changed over time. Her jokes got sharper, and her smile stopped reaching her eyes. When I got engaged to Ethan, something in her shifted. She smiled for the pictures, threw me a bridal shower, even cried during the speeches. But later that night, she whispered, "Don't lose yourself in him, okay?" It sounded caring, until she added, "You finally have someone who listens to you." That stung. A few weeks later, I found out she'd been talking to one of my coworkers, asking personal questions like how Ethan and I were doing. I brushed it off. She was curious, maybe protective. That's what best friends do, right? Then came the text, the one that would eventually destroy everything. I had messaged her late one night, venting about Ethan after a small argument. It wasn't serious, just me needing to talk. I said things like, "He's been distant lately, and I hate how I have to beg for attention sometimes." Normal relationship frustrations. She comforted me like she always did. I thought it was safe there, between us. But 2 weeks later, she posted a story on Instagram. Ever wonder what it's like to be the friend who hears all the complaints but still gets blamed? Some of us just care too much. No names. No context. Just vague enough to be about anyone. But I knew it was about me. And apparently, so did everyone else. Mutual friends started asking questions. Are you and Lena okay? Did something happen with Ethan? I tried to play it off, but the whispers grew. The real gut punch came when one of my coworkers pulled me aside at lunch and said quietly, "Hailey, I saw what Lena posted. You should know people are talking." By the time I checked her page again, she'd deleted the story. But it didn't matter. The damage was done. The seed was planted. That's when I realized something. Lena wasn't protecting me. She was setting the stage, and I had just given her all the material she needed. I wish I could say it stopped there, that Lena got bored or guilty or realized she'd gone too far. But no, she was just getting started. It happened on a Saturday morning, the kind of morning when you wake up slowly, sunlight pouring in, coffee brewing, life feeling calm. I remember scrolling through my phone half awake when I saw it. A notification from Instagram, Lena tagged you in her story. At first, I smiled. Maybe it was an old picture of us, we had hundreds. But when I opened it, my breath caught. It wasn't a picture. It was a screenshot. A screenshot of our private chat. She had cropped it perfectly, only showing my side of the conversation. The messages where I was venting about Ethan, about feeling lonely, about not trusting how much time he spent working late. Every word looked bitter and ungrateful. She captioned it. "This is what fake love looks like. Some people don't deserve good men." And she tagged me. I froze. My heart pounded so hard I could hear it in my ears. Before I could even react, my phone started buzzing. Messages from friends, coworkers, even my aunt, all asking the same thing. Is this real? I wanted to scream, to defend myself. But how do you explain something like that? The full context was gone. She'd erased her replies, the ones where she agreed with me, where she said Ethan was too cold, that she didn't know how I put up with it. Now, I looked like the villain. By noon, the story had been reshared dozens of times. Someone screenshotted it and posted it on Facebook. Then Twitter. Then TikTok. I saw my name trending in a local gossip thread, Hailey from downtown, people dissecting my relationship like it was a reality show. Lena didn't answer my calls, didn't reply to a single text. But I saw her posting again later that night, a selfie with the caption, "Sometimes the truth hurts, but lies hurt more." She was calm, poised, victimized. And me? I was a headline in a digital rumor mill. But what she didn't know, what no one knew, was that I had the full conversation. Every message, every timestamp, every word she cut to make me look cruel. I could end her game in one post, and I was done staying quiet. The first few days after Lena's post were hell. Everywhere I went online, I saw pieces of myself torn apart by strangers. My coworkers avoided eye contact. My mom called crying. Ethan barely spoke to me. Not because he believed it all, but because he didn't know what to believe. And Lena. She acted like she'd done nothing wrong. She kept posting her usual selfies, her motivational quotes, her healing energy captions. I watched her rebuild her image while mine burned. The worst part? People bought it. They comforted her. "You deserve better friends. So proud of you for standing up for yourself." Every comment felt like a slap. But anger is funny. It doesn't just burn, it sharpens. I stopped crying and started collecting. Every chat, every DM, every photo, every moment she'd confided in me. I had years of conversations. Screenshots of her talking behind people's backs. Audio notes of her gossiping, twisting stories, lying about the same people who were now defending her. She loved drama, but she never thought she'd be the star of it. I knew I couldn't just dump everything at once. That would make me look bitter, exactly what she wanted. So I waited. I watched. I let her get comfortable again. A week later, she posted a carousel of us together. Old photos, smiling, laughing. The caption read, "Sometimes you have to let go of toxic people, even the ones you loved the most." It was the final push. The public goodbye. Her followers flooded the comments with sympathy. "You did the right thing. She didn't deserve your loyalty." That's when I decided, if she wanted an audience, I'd give her one. I created a new account, a quiet, anonymous one. I didn't follow anyone, didn't use my name, just a plain profile picture and a bio that read, "Truth lives in screenshots." Then I began posting as little pieces at a time, cropped conversations showing her hypocrisy, her saying one thing to someone's face and another behind their back, her admitting she edited screenshots before posting them. At first, no one noticed. But then someone commented, "Wait, isn't this about Lena?" And just like that, the tide shifted. Her followers started asking questions. Doubts crept in. Whispers spread. And I hadn't even revealed the best part yet. By the end of that week, the anonymous account had over 20,000 followers. People were obsessed. Every new screenshot dropped like a bomb, exposing Lena's lies one line at a time. I never wrote her name, never confirmed anything. I didn't need to. The internet did the rest. They compared handwriting, timestamps, usernames, profile icons, everything. It didn't take long before the comments filled with certainty. This is about Lena Weston. She's the one who leaked her friend's messages. Wow, she really edited screenshots to make herself look good? Lena started posting defensively, trying to deny it all without saying my name. "Don't believe everything you see online," she wrote in her story, followed by a crying selfie and a caption, "People will do anything for revenge." But the damage was done. I still remember the moment it all collapsed for her. It was a Tuesday night. I was sitting in my car outside my apartment, scrolling through the anonymous account, about to post what I knew would end it all. A full video screen recording of our chat. No cuts, no edits, no tricks, just raw truth. The clip showed her own messages, the ones where she said, "I'm going to post it like he's the problem. People always take my side." She even laughed about it. "Hailey won't do anything. She's too scared of confrontation." I wasn't scared anymore. I uploaded the video. Within an hour, it had over 50,000 views. Comments exploded. People tagged her, demanded answers, unfollowed her in droves. Screenshots spread across Reddit, Twitter, TikTok. She tried to report the account, but by then, too many people had saved the evidence. It was everywhere. Her carefully crafted image, the confident, healing, truth-telling best friend, disintegrated overnight. At midnight, my phone buzzed. It was a text from her. The first one since she'd betrayed me. "Hailey, please take it down. You're ruining my life." I stared at the screen for a long time before replying. "You already ruined mine." Then I blocked her. The next morning, she posted an apology. A shaky, tear-filled video claiming she was going through a rough time and didn't mean for things to get out of hand. But the internet doesn't forgive easy. The comments were brutal. People called her out, demanded accountability. Some even shared screenshots of her DMs where she had lied about other people too. She lost her followers, her brand deals, even her job. I didn't feel proud, just empty. Because revenge doesn't fix the damage. It just flips the mirror. But it did give me something I'd lost the moment she betrayed me. Control. For the first time in weeks, I could breathe. The silence that came after everything exploded was strange, almost too still. For weeks, my phone had been alive with chaos, notifications, comments, people picking sides. But once Lena's apology faded from the feeds, it was like the world collectively exhaled and moved on. Everyone except me. I thought I'd feel triumphant. I thought watching her lose everything would heal the wounds she left. But instead, it felt hollow, like I'd burned down a house just to prove it wasn't mine to begin with. My family tried to understand. My mom hugged me and whispered, "At least the truth came out." But her eyes said something else. Something like, "Was it worth it?" My brother was more blunt. "You won," he said. "But did you really?" Ethan stayed quiet for a while. We spent nights just sitting together, the air heavy with unspoken words. Finally, one evening, he said, "I'm not mad at what you did. I'm just sad that you had to. And I think that broke me more than anything Lena had done. Because he was right." I didn't want to become the kind of person who fights fire with fire. But she dragged me into a battlefield I didn't choose. I deleted the anonymous account 2 weeks later. It had served its purpose, and I didn't want to live in that digital war zone anymore. The final post read, "Truth isn't revenge. It's closure." People begged me to stay, to post more, to expose others. But I was done. Revenge stories go viral. Healing doesn't. Lena disappeared from social media not long after. Someone said she moved back to her parents' house. I didn't check. I didn't need to. One night, I opened our old photo album. There we were, arms around each other, eyes bright, genuinely happy. It hit me that before the screenshots, the whispers, and the lies, there was real friendship. Maybe it got lost somewhere between jealousy and pride, but it existed once. And losing that, not the followers, not the reputation, was the real grief beneath it all. Still, for the first time in a long time, I could look at my reflection and not feel like a victim. I had survived the storm, even if the rain had changed me. It's strange how something as small as a screenshot can change your life. One picture, one click, one moment of betrayal. And suddenly, everything you thought you knew about loyalty, friendship, even yourself, shifts forever. It's been 3 months since it all ended. The internet's attention has moved on to some new scandal, some new heartbreak. But the echoes of what happened still live quietly inside me. Sometimes, when I get a notification, my chest still tightens, a leftover reflex from weeks of public humiliation. But then I breathe and remind myself, that story's over. I still don't hate Lena. I wish I did. Hate is easier to hold on to. What I feel instead is a mix of sadness and understanding. She wasn't evil. She was insecure. Desperate for validation. Hungry for attention in a world that rewards exposure over empathy. And maybe I was guilty too. Guilty of ignoring the signs. Of loving her so much I couldn't see the cracks forming beneath us. People always ask if I regret what I did. The posts, the revenge, the exposure. The truth? Part of me does. Because I became someone I didn't recognize, even if only for a moment. I let pain drive me. I let anger speak for me. But another part of me feels peace. Because for the first time, the truth wasn't twisted to fit someone else's narrative. It was mine. These days, I've started writing again. Not revenge, not screenshots, just quiet reflections. I post about healing, about boundaries, about forgiveness, not for followers, but for myself. I don't think I'll ever trust someone the same way again, and maybe that's okay. Some lessons leave scars, not souvenirs. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Sometimes revenge gives you justice, but only forgiveness gives you freedom. And when I finally let go, not of her, but of what she did, I realized I wasn't defined by the screenshots or the comments, or even the viral story that came after. I was defined by what I did next. And for the first time in a long, long time, I chose peace.